Good evening and salutations, my bold and beautiful fans. So, this episode was somewhat so-so, but there was one really interesting part, and that was pretty much the whole Hope, Ridge, and Brooke scene, because Hope had enough. Alright, Hope has had enough. She's tired of people sitting there telling her that she can't spend time with her dad. She's a grown ass woman, and yet you still have these people sitting there saying, no, you can't sit there and spend time with him. He's not good. He's not going to be good. Blah, blah, blah. Again, I understand where Ridge is coming from. I understand that his heart may be in the right place, but the way he's going about it is just very over the top and very overbearing. It's the same way, it's the same way when you try to come at the situation with Eric and Quinn. His heart might be in the right place, but he tends to be like overbearing about it. And Hope's had enough. She had enough, and she's like, yo, listen, I'm doing this. I'm spending time with my dad, and I'm not going to be sitting there fighting you people. Hell, I'll move out if that's what it takes. And, Brooke is like, listen, let's just kind of just calm down, alright? Let's not do anything crazy, pretty much. But, Ridge, I felt like he was like, you know what, let me just, leave. And that's what he did. He left because I can tell he's one, it was one of those things where it's like he knew that he might have been, like if he would have kept going, he was just making the situation worse. Which is why he took himself out of that situation and left. And, this is where she's sitting there arguing with her mother again. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a certain part where Hope was sitting there talking about, my dad this, my dad that, and how much I love my dad. And it got to a point where it's like, alright, I don't mean to sound like a dick, but you are, I don't know if it was the acting, but it was just kind of just over the top. Like, it was just over dramatic. And it was like, alright, we get it. Alright? So she calls Deacon back. Now, Deacon goes to Sheila's place because I don't really know why, actually. I guess because pretty much that's the only place he can, he doesn't really have a place to stay, so he goes back to Sheila's place. I'm just like, why are you over there? And granted, he goes over there, he talks about, oh, that damn Rich, just always getting in my damn way, He was like, I was making progress, this, that, and third, and I mean, in a way, it kind of sucked for Sheila, because he's talking about how he's making all this great progress with Hope, and how he's getting closer, and yet she's nowhere closer than where she first started. And yet he's all like, oh, I made all this progress except for this damn Ridge. I'm sitting there thinking, alright, so now you need her, and now she can come in and kind of, I don't really know exactly what, but for some odd reason I thought that he was going to sit there and try to get her help. He didn't get the chance because Hope called him to come back over. Which, at that point, I was like, all right, maybe you should go to, like, him. Not just for the simple fact that, like, it's kind of like, if Ridge comes back, he's going to just lose it, and it's going to be just like it was when he left. But, I'm still sitting there thinking about, he was like, oh, that damn Ridge trying to take me out like I was the trash. I was like, well, you said it, not me. But also, this dude just, like, I mean, how did he get there so fast? Like, did he drive? Did he take a bus? And now you're asking him to come all the way back from where he just got thrown out at. I mean, maybe you should go to him. I'm just saying, like. So she calls him back. He's all ecstatic, and he goes right back over there. Meanwhile, Sheila's sitting there looking at her phone, like, damn, I can't even sit there and get this man to sit there and text me back, like. And and it's going to be kind of interesting to see what she's going to do. But anyway, he comes back over there, and once again, she's all like, listen, I want you two under the same roof. It's nice having both my parents here, and one happy family. And, Brooke is just like, listen, I'm doing what my daughter wants me to do. This is what she wants. This is what I'm going to sit there and do to, make it work, I guess. But one of the things I was actually glad about was that, when Deacon was like, well, I don't know if she feels the same way, Hope did acknowledge that, listen, y'all two got a, like, crappy history, and I understand why she's a little apprehensive as far as giving you a chance, because when he first came over there, she was all like, oh, listen, he's changed, and this, that, and the third, you gotta give him a chance, and, it seemed like she was trying to do like an insta fix, like, oh, well, you guys gotta be good now, what's in the past, what's in the past. Like, she was just kind of ignoring the bad history that, her and Deacon had. So I'm glad they kind of, like, fixed that up a little bit. And, even when Ridge was there, Ridge was like, whoa, how's your husband gonna sit there and feel about this? I partly kind of, here's the thing, I understood where he was coming from. He was like, yo, I don't think he's going to be on board. But I don't know, maybe it was just me, maybe it was got a little kind of defensive, like when he was like, wow, what do you think your husband would sit there and think about this? Like, yo, she don't take orders from him. Like, I don't know how your marriage works, but, yeah, it's 2021, it's not going down like that. But pretty much she's like, yo, listen, I'm going to talk to him and we're going to work it out. Now Ridge is pissed, so he marches into the office and he tells Steffi, he's all like, I can't believe that Hope is doing that, letting this man back in her life, like everything that he's done, and she's just like, no, it's cool, we can give it another go, it's fine. And Steffi is jumping right on there like, well, how could she do something like that, and what is she thinking, and yada yada yada. Steffi is a character. I will definitely sit there and say that. Steffi is a character. This actress is a character. How long has she actually been on the show? She's a very, very interesting character. I say interesting because, let's be, when I first started watching the show and I saw Steffi, the way she was acting, the way she was talking was just like, man, this is my imagination, or is she just like kind of really crappy actress? I'm just saying, like, she seemed like her acting was, and the thing is, I couldn't tell was her acting bad or was it just the fact I was watching a new show. Because, you're watching, I watched General, I watched Days, and I watched Bold and the Beautiful now. And the tone is a lot different, so the acting is going to be a little bit different, and so it takes a minute to kind of just adjust to a new beat. So I couldn't tell at first. I was like, maybe she's just not like a good actress. But then I come back and I watch it now, and she seems like she's a lot better than when I was watching it. It could be my imagination. Maybe I'm just a little more lenient. I don't know, but I feel like she's a lot better than what and what she was like when I first watched it. Now, mind you, when I first watched this show, I saw Wyatt and Flo having like the worst sex scene I've ever seen in my life. I was just like, when I heard people writing in the comments, like, oh, they're using like wood and like props and stuff like that, I was like, no, you're joking, right? And when I saw it, was like, what is that? Like, what was that? And I clearly remember them just kind of standing there, just doing these cheesy smiles, and I'm just like, what am I watching? Now, granted, watching love scenes or whatever has never really been my thing because they just look silly. And apparently back in the early 90s, it wasn't, let's just put it this way, they were a lot more looser and things looked a lot more closer to, let's just sit there and say the kind of movies that I watch. I mean, hell, I don't know if anyone watched Days, but there was a scene between Philip and Bella when they were, doing a lovemaking scene. I was just like, this doesn't seem like it's really acting. Anyway, I don't even know what the hell I'm saying now. I think I was what they're trying to say was that Steffi's doing a lot better of a job apparently. So that's cool. Now Paris was talking to Steffi a little bit about Thomas and how, they're getting along and they met their met Douglas, and the little awkward talk between, oh, is are you my daddy's girlfriend, all that stuff or whatever. Now Thomas is in the office without a shirt on for some odd reason. I'm sitting there looking at it just like, bro, come on, like, what are we doing? At first I was like, are you at your house? Because, like, she could just walk in at any point in time, right? Like, what are you doing? And I find out that he's at the office with his shirt off. So Zende comes in there, and Zende's like, you want to give me a little bit of warning next time before I walk in here? Because, I mean, the ladies may like it, but, I mean, come on, like, what are we doing? Thomas was like, oh, I was working out downstairs, and then there was a maintenance thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, but, like, come on, man, like, we're gonna have a problem with HR? Like, come on, B. But then, then Zende's like, so how's that, apartment hunting going? And, Tom's like, oh, it's going kind of slow, the realtor is just like, whatever, and, Zende's like, hey, you need to sit there and light a fire under his butt. And I'm not gonna lie, I was trying not to curse, but then it just sounded even more sillier. But the point is, Zende is like, so when you leaving? Because this guy needs to find you a place fast. Because I'm not. I know I'm saying that I'm cool with y'all living together, but I'm really not. And when Paris walks in there, Zende is like, oh, well, the faster you leave, the faster I get to sit there and be with this beautiful woman. I mean, granted, he's sitting there talking about her even before she walked in. He's all like, oh, am I such a lucky guy for being, with such an amazing, sexy, beautiful woman that's smart and gifted and talented. Aren't I just like the luckiest guy ever? It's like, Zende, I just want to let you know your insecurity is showing. You might want to just kind of bring that down just a little bit. Just here. And of course, when Paris walks in, Insecure, I feel like I'm going to actually start to have to nickname this guy something along the lines of Insecure Zendaya. Because Insecure Zendaya starts having PDA with her. Right in his office, like he's not even in a room. But of course, he knows he's in the room, which is why he's doing it. And I'm just like, Zendaya, once again, you're letting that insecurity meter just rise way too high. I mean, how even Thomas was like, should I just, like, at one point it's like, should I just leave? Should I just go somewhere else? Like, oh, Zendaya, you, well, at the very best, you give me something to talk about, even if it's not positive. My goodness, is this man insecure. And I don't know why. I really don't. It's not like he doesn't have looks and he's with this very beautiful woman or whatever. And every single time that Thomas is around, he's always like, I gotta sit there and make out with her. I gotta sit there and boast about how I have the greatest girlfriend in the world. And it's like, bro, do you just, you don't seem like you have a lot of friends, do you? You really don't seem like you have a lot of friends, or even a little bit amount of friends, or do you even have friends? Do you have a friend? Like, I just, you know what? I've been bagging on this guy a lot. And it's not just because I'm a dick, but he's been giving me a lot of material to really sit there and really go in on it. But I have a question though. My question is, okay, let's not talk about his looks. But what kind of good things does he bring to the show? What kind of good attributes does Zende bring to the show? Because I'm not gonna lie, when I went on the B&B IG, and they were showing scenes or whatever, they were talking about Zende. It was like, alright, here we go, and being all insecure, and I don't like him because of this, and I don't like him because of that, and like, And granted, I'm pretty sure it was one of those times I was sitting there bagging on him, but I was like, what are some good qualities that he brings to the show that you like about his character? Like, what kind of things do you actually like about his character? Because let's be honest, it's very easy for us to always sit there and pick apart the negative stuff that we don't like about characters. And I just feel like maybe, not that we should sit there and just be like, all right, let's talk about the good stuff, but, like, is there any good qualities about this guy that I don't know about? Because he's been showing me, he's been keeping that insecure meter up pretty high. Pretty damn high. I think that's about it. If I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. See you in the next video.